Hello everyone, welcome to Kalpa Kendra Tarot. I hope you've not forgotten me because I'm posting this video after a very long time. But then even if you forget me, I can always remind you and reintroduce myself into your life. So this reading is going to be on the topic, what is shifting in your current reality soon? So the shift that you can expect to see in your current reality very soon is the topic for today's reading. And we have three options for that. I want it to be a quick short reading, as I would want the future readings on this channel and the other channels that I have to be, so that I can post more frequently without any gaps. Long readings tend to drain and exhaust me to the point that I cannot come back to another reading for a very long time. So I have decided that the trick to posting every day and as frequently as I can is to take up a topic and address it as precisely as I can, and just stick to that area instead of just trying to stretch myself and make it more detailed. So that's pretty much what I am trying to work with right now. God knows if my interests and my my methods are going to change in the future. I don't know. This is just how I want it to be for now. Let's see where it goes. So the options, right? So let's introduce the options. For group 1, we have this card. No, I'm not gonna remove them from their place. I hope you can just see them. I'm having a very difficult time to pronounce the words. Let me first fix the AC, which is going to give me some freedom to properly pronounce the words that I want to say. Right, yeah. So for group number 1, we have this card, Oak, card number 27. This is the option for group number 1. For group number 2, we have this card, Oracle, card number 28, 27, 28. Wow. And this is the option for group 2. For group number 3, we have this card, Wild Cat, card number 44. So there's the option for group 3. These are your three options. How you decide on your option is by closing your eyes and just thinking about the question for a minute. Just go inside your head and be like, what is going to shift in my current reality, or what is the shift coming into my current reality very soon? Spirit, please lead me to the card that will give me the answer to this question. And then you open your eyes and see which option you feel the most drawn to. Selecting your option, you meet me at the click of your timestamp. Hello group 1, welcome to the reading. If you have chosen the card Oak, card number 27, which comes down to 9, so you are really on the last leg of wrapping up some very important lessons. Don't just look within, dive deeply into the eternal realms of knowing. Beautiful card, and we will talk about the wisdom that it shares. Well, group number 1, this card talks about something that my father used to say when I was younger. In fact, only today I was reminded of it. So whenever I wanted to do something in life, my father was very quick to tell me that do not share your goals with a lot of people. It wasn't because of what some South Asians, not some South Asians, I think South Asians in general, maybe other communities as well, I'm not aware, but there are people who believe that if you share about your goals, then you might attract a lot of negativity towards that particular event, even before it has been physically born into the physical reality. So it wasn't because of that. My father didn't really mean that. What he meant by not letting me share my goals with people before I have acted on them is because he was aware, and he told me very clearly that when you decide to do something, from you deciding to do it to actually doing it, there is a long route. Like it's a path that you need to walk on, and when you walk on that path, a lot changes, and a lot of things that you have wanted to do, maybe when you were drawing a preliminary sketch of your goals, you would not want to do them at all, and the things that you have decided on doing might morph into something entirely different, where you don't want to do it the same way that you thought you would do. And people would start questioning you to the point that you feel entitled to actually, they will make you feel like you owe them an explanation for making the changes in the course of your journey, or that you have to stick to a previous plan because you told them so. And it's just a lot of like answering and being answerable to absolutely uh, like unimportant set of characters who really have nothing to do with your story. And he said this to me when I was very, very young, that people would keep questioning you and you would feel burdened to actually stick to your goals even when you don't think it is right to do that. So don't tell people about your plans until the very last minute. So this was his pearl of wisdom, and this is exactly what this card talks about, that you are not supposed to talk about what you wanted to do or what you want to do, because the path might lead you onto a different destination entirely, and you are not answerable to anybody for experiencing your lessons and making this shift. You might want to feel like talking about your journey, and that is your discretion entirely, but the fact that you should not feel pressured to stick to what you had at some previous point decided, and not feel free to walk different paths as they are made available to you, is something that shouldn't happen to anybody. But it can sometimes happen if you make people know, like if you go on telling people, I want to be a painter, I want to be a painter, and suddenly this feeling of you wanting to be a painter goes away, and then you feel like learning piano, but then you've said to so many people now that you want to be a painter, that the many times they meet you, they're like, oh, so what about the painting thing, are you doing something? And then the burden of explanation, the kind of energy that will go into it, or if you feel answerable to sticking to that personality that you've sketched for yourself or building that identity, it's huge, it's a lot. Okay, so just don't do it. So the wisdom is to know that not everyone deserves to know everything about your life. You should, being private about your affairs, having some degree of secrecy, it helps to also make you attractive in other people's eyes, but that is also not what you should be concerned about. But having some degree of privacy attached to your actions can really give you a greater degree of freedom to change the story of your life. Okay, and make you less answerable to other people is what I want to say. Right, because being answerable, not a joyride if you ask me. Anyway, so what is shifting in your current reality? I think you are doing something in secret. You're doing something in secret where you are thinking that let me just do what I want to do, and then maybe I would talk about it, because it's very draining. See, if you have a goal in mind and you spend a degree of like a certain degree of your energy, the energy available to you, to actually talk about it, then your energy is gone. You can use all that energy instead of channeling it into announcing your like goals and your aspirations to the world. Instead of channeling it there, you can actually use that energy to build something constructive for yourself and actually put into bringing that vision into reality, right? So all those things are coming into play where you are somehow deciding not to talk about your goals, and this is an internal shift that I should not talk about it before it happens. So what is shifting in the current reality of group 1 very, very soon, Spirit? Glitter. Things are starting to show up. You are getting excited and you don't want to protect. See, how can I safeguard what is sacred to me? It's all indicating towards the same thing. You probably are better off not discussing your goals with anybody at this moment. It is to your highest good and greatest advantage that you experience the blessings first. They get a very strong rooting in your physical reality, and only then you talk about it, not before that. And something big is happening, by the way, and you don't want to waste this energy by just randomly giving people information about your life and then draining yourself in the process, where more people become interested in what you're doing, and they're like, oh, what you doing about that, oh, what you have done now, what's the progress, and then get a little introverted on this. Introverts know how precious energy is, and then introverts have this thing, they want to work in secrecy on big ideas because they know courage and inner power, right? Because they know that it's not a cakewalk to be to energetically invest in something huge. And so you need to conserve your energy. It kind of comes to them naturally, just like extroverted people, like people who are extroverted are generally, and kind of a science delusion, right? They are kind of intrinsically good at handling people and handling fame, so it comes to them easily, talking to people, engaging with the public and everything. Same way, conserving their energy and saving it for something constructive, meaningful and big is something that comes naturally to introverts. So you have to you have to go the introverted way, or you have to take that introverted path to your destination. That is the shift, and you know this. I don't think you need to know this. Like, your being, your intuition has already pointed this out, that this shift needs to happen, that you should not engage with people from the moment you decide on something about your future plans. And courage and inner power, you're totally channeling it towards building yourself into a character. I talked about how when you don't talk about your private life too much, it creates an air of mystery, although it can be forced, because people who know manipulation techniques, and if you if you've read the art of influencing people, and also what is that book by Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power or something. So if you've read books which teach you how to influence people, then you will know how to, you would know these trickeries, and I don't really buy into them. You can understand, like, if you've dealt with people's energy, you can understand whether somebody is doing something from genuineness or from actual inner power and courage residing inside them, or they are just putting up a mask, putting up a show. So I but I would still tell you that it helps to fake it till you make it sometimes, because you might feel like an imposter, you might feel like, I don't know how to act in these situations. And in those moments, if you have something like a plan chalked out for yourself, that I am not going to say more than what people are supposed to know. And even if I'm dealing with somebody difficult who gives me silent treatment, and because I feel uncomfortable in silence, I end up sharing information about things that I'm not supposed to, because we tend to get extremely we feel nervous in the presence of people who just go silent on us, and we end up blabbering and everything. So you might encounter these people, and you would have now the wisdom to not give more information. So you start to chalk out plan to get comfortable in these situations, which are difficult situations that you are put in, but you won't crack. Now you won't crack. You're building a very strong personality. So what is shifting in your reality, we can understand from all this bits and pieces of information, is that you are building a very strong personality to shift into a higher reality, a high frequency reality. Maybe you are what is happening is you're matching your frequency to destined goal, a destined reality, something that you were always meant to experience, something that you've been aware of, but you are only now learning to embrace and totally shift into. Okay, 8 of Wands, and it's happening very, very soon. It's not like you've not known this. You've known this, that you want this, but then, oh yeah, right. So it's associated with It's associated with something that you do want a lot, but it makes you very nervous, and it makes you very anxious as well. See, I spoke about the introverted and like the introversion and extroversion difference, and how people who have a certain makeup respond differently to different situations: fame, popularity, then silence, solitude. People have different kind of reaction to these situations and to these aspects in their life, depending on their psychological makeup. So what is happening is that maybe you are nervous to face a big dream of yours again, quoting my favorite quote from Plato: you can easily forgive a child who's afraid of the dark, but the tragedy of life is when an individual, no, when an adult is afraid of their own light, right? So you may be afraid of that aspect of getting your dreams fulfilled and actually meeting that reality where you have that at your feet, like you are that person. Like, when you actually realize that no matter what you write goes viral, you might get scared of becoming that person who everybody looks to for opinion, like looks up to for opinion. And when something happens, people are asking you, so what do you think, and they're waiting for you to make a statement. And it's scary to be in that position, even though you might have all your life wanted to be in that position, but to step into it and feel like, oh my god, I am that person now. Or, I could write a book tomorrow and it would become bestseller. I could release a video tomorrow and it would go viral, because that's the power that I have. That is how much people are liking me. It is happening, is scary. And I think you're stepping into that reality. And with Nine of Swords and Six of Cups, you've always wanted this. This has been your dream since childhood. But like I say, that popularity is often accompanied by poverty of privacy. So you might become popular, and you might have wanted wanted this at some point, really very passionately. But also the fact that you have to deal with a lot of energy coming your way is something that scares you, and something that is unsettling, but at the same time you love it very much. It feels like something huge is happening that you have kind of been aware of subconsciously, but you are only now waking up to its conscious and active physical manifestation. And that's why you're having to, like, you're having to learn a lot of tricks which are to do with the trade that you are getting into. So you see how people who have dealt with extreme fame are made to sit for an interview where they talk about their experience. Why does that happen? Because we want to learn from rare experiences. So somebody being like an icon is a rare experience, because we don't have many icons. I mean, think about the ratio to the population, the ratio of the entire population to the number of icons that we have. So being an icon, being a celebrity, is a rare experience, or being celebrated is a rare experience, because anyway, yeah, so it often does not match up. And not match up, but it's screwed, the ratio, right? It's just so it feels like whatever you're going to experience is going to make it absolutely necessary that whatever lessons you have learned up until this point, because you being able to manifest this reality shows me that you have done some like some strong inner work to actually manifest this. So you gotta be mindful of your lessons and kind of remember them, kind of repeat them in your head, and just be like, know that in difficult times, you will have to lean on these lessons to yeah. So there was some disruption. So you gotta stick to your lessons from how you worked on yourself and how you prepared yourself both consciously and subconsciously to bring yourself to a position where you can experience this reality in the moments when you face newer challenges, to experience this thing that you are going to experience now. Because it's a big shift. It's in some capacity, if I have not said it earlier, dream come true. You've dreamt of this moment, Knight of Swords. and you cannot wait. A part of you cannot wait. See, you, if you know about Three of Swords, right? Okay, so if you know about masculine and feminine energy in us, there is a part of you which wants to stick to the comfort of being unknown, or what is it, what is that word? Yes, so the comfort of being anonymous. And there's a part of you that cannot wait to shift into this reality. You feel sad because you know it's a, in some capacity it is your old life coming to an end. Yeah. One time I was telling my father about a particular description in Wikipedia about the American president, calling it the most powerful office on earth. And I was telling my father, imagine there's a government office which is like being described as the most powerful, because at that time the world politics was still a little bit unipolar, and USA like was holding a very important position in world politics, in the international arena. And so it was his the president's office was described as being the most powerful in the world. And my father, in response to that, said to me that imagine all this, but but this person does not have the privacy to go to the beach alone or enjoy a moment in the sun alone. So does not have the privilege of privacy. And that stuck with me, because you see, that is the thing that fame brings into your life. So a lot of things that you enjoyed, maybe your private moments, they are very simple things that you enjoyed. It is not going to be the same now, because you are gearing up to face your destiny, which requires you to be a very different person from what from who you are now and what you are now. And it's going to be confusing in the beginning, because I don't think a lot of people in your community, your locality, or your family, or your group um, have experienced this. You are in some capacity being like a pioneer, or somebody who's like doing something, experiencing something for the first time. Big things happening in your reality, big shifts. Maybe it is a small change for some of you, but it is headed towards something big. Like something big is eventually, like, it's gonna become cumulative, and then a big shift is gonna happen eventually, because of the little shifts that are happening. It's all gonna add up, and there are signs to that effect. Delusion, you have called this a delusion. There are moments when this felt like a delusion, but now you are actually receiving the things that you are meant to receive. So that's your reading, group 1. If that resonated with you, let me know in the comments. For more readings like this, subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in getting a tarot reading for me, or any form of like spiritual guidance, then you can contact me on WhatsApp, email, or Instagram. I also have other 2 channels in Hindi, Bengali. I actually have 3 other channels, but then if you're comfortable with those languages, maybe then only you should check them out. Otherwise, yeah, stick to this one. See you in another reading sometime very, very soon. Till then, take care. Hello, group 2. Welcome. If you have selected this card, Oracle, card number 28, you can see the Oracle sitting in front of you. Wow, I like the jewelry. But anyway, the card is card number 28, which comes down to 10, which is number 1. It's the beginning of something magical, because you have now come to a position to actually use to your benefit the guidance of your intuition. Because earlier you did not take your intuition very seriously, but now you are starting to at least consider with a greater degree of importance the things that you are being communicated through your intuition. Spirits of other worlds, tell me tales of unknown, tell me tales of the forbidden. Yeah. So earlier, I think there were things happening in your life which you doubted, and you saw them with some degree of suspicion, because You were like, yeah, so people talk about these spiritual experiences of seeing angel numbers and signs and synchronicities and getting intuitive hits and like guidance from above. But is this really true? Is my mental chatter um, really some sort of um, otherworldly guidance that I'm supposed to take seriously? Or is it even real? Is magic even real? You had all these doubts and confusion, but something has happened in your reality where you have been able to identify your role and your uh, like yeah, your role, but your job, or yeah, role as the creator of your destiny, where you are being actively guided towards a certain reality by asking you to make certain changes, and it's all being communicated to you very directly, and where you're not being able to deny your experience. You're becoming aware of your role as the master manifester, as a manifester, not even the master manifester, just as the manifester, not the master manifester as of yet, because there's things still waiting to become clear. Right now you're just stepping up from a position where you doubted heavily everything that was happening in your reality. I don't know why you doubted. Maybe because you were being asked to believe in something which is very difficult for you to believe in. That's why you had a lot of doubt, a lot of confusion. You were like, this can't be real. Spirituality, spiritual experiences, twin flames, soulmates, destiny. It can't be real, or at least not as real as some people are making it to be. And then the reality of it just hit you through certain experiences, and now you cannot deny it. It's all around you. So, what is shifting in group two's reality spirit? Delight, what enchants me. When you're going for a nature walk, when you're going for some to spend some moment in silence, when you're going for a retreat to just take in, just to decompress and just to take in everything that is happening in your life, there are moments of enchantment and moments where nature is showing you showing you shines showing you signs about how the reality that you perceive to be factual and rational is only a veil that exists on a veil. And the moment the veil slips, the actual real spiritual reality comes to the forefront, which is pure magic. And you are only realizing it now. What took you so long? Heal what is mending, right? You did not heal properly. So the healing had not begun up until this moment. That's what took you so long. So what is shifting for group two? What is shifting in the current reality of group two? You're becoming more accepting of all the wonders and all the amazing things that exist in our physical reality. So what is shifting for group two, spirit? What is shifting? What is shifting? What is shifting? Oh, you got inner power again. That's the card that group one had also got. So because you got the same card, we are going to shuffle one more time. What is shifting? Self-love. You're beginning your healing journey. It seems like you're stepping up the game, but you were at a very nascent stage before this. Like you are at a beginning stage. You were a novice when it comes to spirituality, where you had not, see, with grief and heal, you had not worked on yourself completely. You were like still postponing your healing journey. You were like, yeah, I gotta do some journaling. I'll do them when it feels right, or when I get time. It's not that necessary. I mean, talking to myself, how necessary can that be? Listening to my, being like emerging as my own best friend and being with myself, how important can it be really? So you've been postponing it, girlfriend. Now let's see. Now, not all of you are my girlfriends, by the way, but all of you are my friends. So you've been postponing it, dearie and dearests. So let's see what all is gonna happen now. What is shifting for you? This card had a very weird introduction. Yeah, so what's shifting for you is your perception of your pain and your trauma. You've been projecting it without projecting it unconsciously, subconsciously onto other people without realizing the role it has to play in your life, and anger issues and things which triggered you did not really have a proper channel to express themselves, so that they can cause that moment of enlightenment in your life where the guidance hits you and you realize in one moment, in one sparkling moment, you have this realization, oh, everything that happened to me happened for a reason. Now I know why this person left me, and why I broke my leg at that point, and why I got rejected from that job, or why I was put into this university in the first place, or why I got together with that friend after so many years. Like, it's all making sense to you. That moment had not come of that grand illumination. That grand illumination was not taking place for you, but now it is. Now it is. Page of Swords. You became very curious about these things, like, is this even real? Does everything happen for a reason? And are there no coincidences in life? So you refuse to work on your subconscious mind for a very, very long time. A message that is coming to me may be relevant for some of you, maybe not for all of you, but then I'll give you the message still. There's this author, Joe Dispenza, if I'm saying the name correctly. He has written a book called Becoming Supernatural. Maybe a book like this, maybe that book specifically, or a book like this has been haunting you for a while, which you know that you've been asked by the universe to read, to learn about, but you've not done it. You're just avoiding your healing work, healing journey, and you're like, I'll do it. I know it's necessary, just don't know when, because it can wait. There are, like, I've got a bigger fish to fry. So you have given importance and prioritized other things above yourself for too long. Self-love, inner power. So which was blocking your inner power from showing up, and you lived in this frequency of being a victim, where you just show up with love and care for other people. You be the source of nourishment and joy for other people, but you can't really be that for yourself. And you're responsible for a lot of people's happiness, just for not for your own happiness. The way spirit has been, the way spirit framed it is, you have been, your attitude and your actions have been responsible for a lot of people's happiness, but your own grief. So you've been responsible for others' happiness and your own grief. And we literally have grief. Tears are what happens when the ice in the heart melts. So it's time for the tears to melt away, because the healing journey is beginning. And what is shifting? Yeah, the healing journey is beginning. With help and support of the universe, you are stepping into a time where you realize that constantly victimizing yourself, constantly sabotaging yourself is not going to help. It's only going to serve you to a certain degree, not beyond that. And you've self-sabotaged yourself enough. Like, you cannot hate yourself any more than you have hated yourself. So you literally, your back hit the wall. You cannot see, a friend of mine had said this to me, that when you hit the rock bottom, you should be happy, because there's nowhere lower to go from there. You can only rise up from that point. So you had hit the proverbial rock bottom, and now it's time for you to rise. And that rising is happening through self-love. You are realizing that a lot of things that they were talking about in spirituality didn't make sense to you, because you weren't at the stage, or you weren't operating from the level of consciousness that would make these things comprehensible to you. And they are now only now becoming intelligible, because you have shifted, your reality has shifted, and this shift is gradual. You are kind of processing it still, where you are embracing everything that you've realized and working it out in your mind, where you're like, oh, so that's what they say in spirituality. I heard this quote, this is what it means, and I have heard that, and this is what it means. Okay, so it's all coming together. Everything is happening to show me, like everything in my reality is kind of coming together to show me that I need to know, I need to do this in this moment. So there is this card talks about, what is it called, illuminated guidance. Yeah, that moment when guidance feels like this bulb suddenly getting like suddenly lighting up in the dark. Okay, and electricity flowing through your body, and you're like, yes, that eureka moment, that aha, I know now, I understand, everything has been happening. Like it's like you being Cinderella and then realizing you have a fairy godmother, but not thinking that magic can be real, and then realizing that yeah, it is real because your fairy godmother is doing it in front of you, and then you're like, oh, it's real, and oh, things can happen out of thin air, and this is a magical reality, and it has been so all along. It's just that I was not aware of it, and I was not awakened to its potential. And magical, beautiful, like delightful, amazing, and unbelievable, extraordinary things are happening in your waking reality, which are very, very subtle, only for you to see for now, not for everyone to see as of yet. But just slowly walking away from situations that do not serve you. Why is it very important to walk away from these situations? Because if you don't walk away, my friend, you are not going to walk into the reality that you have waiting for you, your destiny. You're not going to be able to walk into it, and you've realized it. You've realized that enough of not believing in everything that the universe has been showing me, enough of taking the signs for granted, enough of being in karmic loops. I'm done. Stick a fork in me because I'm done. So because I'm done, I am not going to be in that position where I close my eyes and I tie my hand and then I go like, save me, save me, save. I am going to save myself, and I'm not going to put myself in a position where I need to be saved. I have myself. Even if the whole world walks out on me, I still have myself. So inner power, self-love, that combination is kicking in. Now you understand, my friend, so what I've been trying to say. So this is the combination that holds together the entire, like you see, the oracle cards, this is the magic that they hold, that 2 or 3 oracle cards can do the job of for me like 20 tarot cards, because they pretty much summarize it. And so the inner detail, the reading between the lines is what I do with tarot. But oracle cards sometimes can just give you like the bullseye explanation of things, or bullseye passage that is supposed to come through in a reading. So you are beginning your healing journey, starting to believe that there is power in neuroscience, there's power in psychotherapy, there's power in spirituality, there's power in spiritual psychology, spiritual psychotherapy, and you're using spirituality through to heal you psychologically, emotionally. I guess psychologically is mentally, physically. You're using your diseases and everything that is happening in your body to heal your mind, and then using it to heal your spirit, and then using spirit to heal your mind. So it's just this mind body connection, it's coming together beautifully. You're understanding how it all spans um, across different fields, and we are all interconnected, as are things which we operate from. Like our mind is connected to body, and body is connected to spirit, in the same way that we are connected to everything in this universe. Everything is interconnected, and it's this big, huge, grand illumination happening in your head, where you're realizing the nature of reality. Maybe for a second, it's just that you're getting a glimpse of God consciousness, which is a very powerful energy to step into, especially if you're seeing it for the first time. If these are the first glimpses you're getting of God consciousness, it can be extremely unnerving, which kind of tells me, did you have that? No, no, no. But yeah, it can be extremely unnerving and unbelievable. It might feel like, oh my god, this transformation. It's real, it's happening. Reality is magical, and you feel like screaming to other people you know that, dude, don't believe everything that you go through, because we don't know half of things that are, like, not even half, like we don't know 90% of the things that happen around us. We have no clarity. This reality is totally unbelievable. Like, don't believe in your conditioning, don't believe in the fears and insecurities. Magic can happen. Like, you feel like saying, like, whispering certain words of wisdom to other people based on your level of surprise and shock, but it can wait. It can wait till you figure things out. It's there's a beautiful shift happening, and I'm excited for you, group 2. If it resonated with you, let me know in the comments, because I love reading them. And if you're interested in getting a tarot reading or spiritual guidance from me, then you can contact me on WhatsApp, email, or Instagram. Otherwise, if you understand Bengali and Hindi, then I have other channels that you can subscribe to. It will only make sense if you understand those languages. Otherwise, stick to this channel. I'll see you in another reading sometime very, very soon. Till then, take care. Hello, my group 3. So if you had selected this card, Wildcat, then welcome to your reading. Let's just take a moment to appreciate the beauty of this card and the artwork. And now we can get to the bottom. Be still and tune in, for there is something afoot lurking alongside you. Right. I should tell you something, group 3. Especially if you have felt extremely attracted to this group and did not have any confusion about your choice, like you were like, yeah, this is my group, I'm gonna choose it, then I have this message for you, where another card was trying to come out and I was a little confused. In fact, that card had come out with another card. Fair had come out with surrender, and I was a little confused about which one I should take, and I wanted my mom to choose a card for me. She had selected Faye. I was still confused, and then I shuffled again. Faye actually talks about this, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Faye or Faye, whatever. It's Fae, not whatever. I want to pronounce it correctly. It's just that I feel like I am pronouncing it correctly. If I'm not, then do correct me in the comments. So yeah, this card talks about there being something that you are not exactly being able to read, but it's suspicious, it can be harmful, it can be dangerous, and it's asking you to be more mindful. And showing up with the card surrender, it is said that it is possible to surrender your protection and safety to the higher forces, because you will be watched and your safety will be ensured by the higher forces and higher beings. That much I understood. But the wild card, like the next time I shuffled, wild card appearing in the next shuffle just made it all the more prominent that yes, there is something trying to harm you which does not have your best intentions in their heart. It may be a person or a situation that might unfold in a way which directly gets you into trouble, because we see situations which you may not be linked to. For example, say you own a shop and a crime happens in your shop. You do not cause the crime, right? It's just the criminals chose your shop to execute their motive, and you come under the scrutiny of the authorities because of the crime that happened, and then a lot of discrepancies that might have been going on in your accounts come to the notice of the authorities, and then you get reported for something that you were not even, like, it's not even directly linked to that. Like, whatever crime happened is not even directly linked to the accounts you were keeping, but somehow you might get into trouble. So it can be that, but for most of you it's not that. For most of you, it is somebody who has an intention to harm you, who thinks that it is in their best interest to somehow affect your reality negatively. It may be a friend that is out there to maybe belittle you. In the most benign cases, it will be to insult you, insult you or belittle you, to show you your place or something. but in a very aggressive case or example, it would be a friend or somebody that you trust trying to take advantage of you in a malicious way. Okay, it can range from very aggressive to absolutely nothing at all, depending on uh, how affected you get by these things, or who is asking. Obviously, like, it's a collective reading, and obviously not everybody will go through the same experience, but I do understand that not everybody has your best intention in their heart. And wildcat gives that feeling of, how a big cat, when they are lurking around in the forest, then every other animal makes alarm calls to warn other animals about the presence of the cat or presence of the predator. It's a little bit like that, where you are not getting the alarm calls. The predator is there, it's just that you are not getting alarm calls, and this reading is your alarm call. This is your spiritual alarm call, so that's what you should use it as. Yeah, so one more thing I had to say is that the card number being 44, and also the earlier card Fae, I FAE, wanting to come out with surrender, and actually coming out with surrender, it makes me believe that you are protected. You are protected. But it is still a warning that you should take note of. What is shifting in group? Okay, I think you're becoming aware of this person. Whoever is trying to harm you, what is shifting for you is you shifting into awareness, you not being in denial anymore. What is shifting for group 3 in their current reality? What is shifting for groups 3 in their current reality very, very soon? Turn. What is next in my becoming? Turn. Okay, makes sense. Climb. How can I go higher? Climb. You are leaving situations where you maybe did not have clarity on certain people's intention, or you did not know where you were headed with them, but now understanding a little bit more clearly where you are headed, where they are headed, where things are becoming clear, you are deciding to, if you can see the side eye that the sun is giving to the dragonfly. You are now understanding your position with regards to the person, and also maybe without this person even noticing, you are understanding what they're capable of, what they've been doing behind your back all along. And more than the situation turning in on you, you are taking a turn away from this person, from a situation that you were not able to move away from in the beginning, or maybe earlier, before this moment when you're, okay, intuition, right? Yeah, before this moment when you were actually, all the cards came down. It's not looking good. I think you're struggling with this information, you're struggling with this information of how this person, okay, the dragonfly liberation. See, it just tried to show it to me, like the card just fell from this deck, like you have to walk out of the situation. Is what is coming through, that it is not in your best interest. I'll just turn off the AC because I think there's just a lot of noise in the background. Wow, it's so peaceful. Sorry for the background noise. Yeah, so it's not serving you. Signs, take the clues, and just take the cues, actually cues, guidance. See, it makes sense. Yeah, so you have to take a cue from what has been constantly, like consistently coming as your being shown to you through your intuition and through your gut feeling. Maybe you did not have enough evidence to support your intuition or your suspicion before this, but now it's just high time that you don't ignore it anymore. Or maybe things can escalate with this person or in this situation where you might regret not walking out earlier or not saying. See, if it's a job interview that you think is not right for you, or you have reasons to um, suspect the intention of the people in authoritative position, don't ignore that feeling. If you think you cannot trust a person you have been in a relationship with for a long time, especially today, sometimes I'm just addicted. Like, yeah, I'm addicted to, like, not addicted. Sometimes I have these phases, these sporadic phases where I just go on listening to murder stories and mystery stories, like on a loop sometimes, crime stories. So I was listening to a story about this man, Chandler, who got one of the things that was used to crack his case was his Snapchat location shared by his girlfriend. I'm not even saying that you have something like that to be worried about, but I'm saying that his girlfriend got suspicious and then started noticing started checking on him and started keeping a tab on his movements and everything. So that became a huge turning point for the investigation that was happening at that moment, and authorities could figure out a lot of things from that piece of information that was provided by his girlfriend. So I'm saying there's something like that where you think that it's suspicious. Maybe you should just take note of that feeling, because it's not right. Page of Wands, Three of Cups, and I don't know if it wanted to come out reverse. I felt like it did. I felt like it did want to come out reverse. Yeah. So you have been a good loyal friend who's taken. Make sure you are not invested in a one-sided relationship, okay? Hmm. Or one-sided friendship. You have been somebody who has enthusiastically pursued this friendship or this relationship, and you have tried to make it work. But if this person or if the situation was not feeling right and they did not show equal interest, then it's not for you. You are meant for big things, and you're meant to walk out of the situation. Eight of Pentacles. Just stick to, like, in Bengali there's this expression, niche chorkai tel dao, oil your own wheel. They say um, you have to do something like that, my friend, where you are more invested in your part of the story and what you need to do, and focus on your game, focus on your thing, and just don't, in your reality, you're taking focus away from a situation which was really not serving you. In fact, it was detrimental to your growth, and you're investing it completely in your own growth. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy in the beginning. When you first start understanding that this relationship that you were in, the guy maybe did not have your best interest in their heart. Maybe they were thinking of you as plan B or something. In the friendship, you were being talked about, or they were gossiping about you behind your back. Page of Swords, it just give me like stabbing behind my back, or being stabbed in the back, or something like that. With Five of Wands, just you're just getting to know about the things, the mean things they were saying about you. And it feels at this moment when you're experiencing this, it feels like a very difficult thing to experience, and you just don't know how you're gonna emerge out of this stronger. But trust in the fact that this is happening because you're not meant to be in this situation. You're not meant to be with these people. You're not meant to be in this job, and you are unlocking the next level. Yeah, literally, if you choose, you can unlock the next level of your story, where you don't have to repeat the same pattern. I'm not saying that in the next level there won't be any difficulties. There may be difficulties, and for all I know, every level of reality has its own level of difficulty, which are um, which have their own, like for example, when you are only encountering failures in your life, you think that the only thing that can make you happy is success. But the moment you get success, you realize that success brings with itself its own challenges. For example, the moment you succeed at something, the people that you consider your friend and your companions might become your competitors, and people might develop envy, and more than being your supporters, they might just become people who who despise you, and then compete with you behind your back. There's a lot of mean girl energy, not mean girl, but mean, anything mean, like mean girl, mean boy, but a meanie energy to them the moment you succeed. And then you discover that, oh, success is not free of problems either. So for you, the best thing to do is not to think that whether the situation will resolve to shift you towards a better reality. You should just take a cue from everything that is happening and leave this situation anyway. Because I shared this on my Instagram in my personal handle the other day, that if you are on the wrong train, then the sooner you get down from the train, the better, because the longer you stay on the train, it is going to like, to reach your destination is going to be that much more expensive. So it's not about trains, but it's about people and life and general, the wisdom of life that we need, the wisdom that we live that we need in life to survive. Oh god, what is happening with the Emperor and the Empress? If you leave the situation, you have a very good chance of becoming a match to your ideal situation, to the highest reality of yours. But this is not like, if you stay in this situation, stay in what you are experiencing, then you would have no chance of. Okay, so this is a message for some of you. Ace of Cups in the back of the deck energy. So this is a message for some of you that if you stay in this situation, let me complete that sentence first. If you stay in this situation, you would have very little chance of experiencing something great, okay, something magnificent. And for some of you, this message is coming through. If you've been waiting to experience the world with someone by your side, then the only way you can manifest that person, or the only way you can or if you've been waiting to see the world with the love of your life by your side, then the only way you can manifest that, maybe you have the love of your life, but you don't have the right situation where you can go on a world tour or something. The only way to manifest that is to put a stop to this reality that you're experiencing, where it is not to the best of your interest. So it's a lot about saying no, no, no. It's something is not right. You gotta choose yourself, and not the thing that you feel like you have to choose. You're being made to choose. And I think you were choosing this honestly in your ignorance. You did not know how harmful this thing was for you. So what is like universe trying to warn you about anyway? I mean, I just want to know. Like, I'm not sure if you want to know, but then I want to know, because I like spying into people's lives. That's not true. I'm just trying to help you and trying to be a good detective. So what is it you're trying to warn group 3 about? Like, what is shifting in the reality? Obviously, they are saying no and learning to identify the true nature of people. I understand, and I'm scared. When I look into this wildcat, like this lion with a horn. Okay, this animal's eyes, I feel scared because of the energy that it is carrying. If you are in a relationship which is very dominating and difficult, and yeah, if you are in a job situation, whatever, if it's dominating and difficult, then you should walk out. Yeah, so what is the universe trying to tell you? Hold a light to your darkness. Understand that if there is somebody who's giving you anxiety, if there's somebody who's making it absolutely necessary for you to lie to others in order to save your back, or in order to save them, or in order to make them or yourself look good, or in order to just save a situation, then you are in trouble, because you are probably with a narcissistic person, and you should Just get out of that situation the first chance that you get. Invest in your own growth. Okay, what is the universe trying to warn you about? This person is taking advantage of your insecurities and your dreams and everything. They might tell you things like, your dreams are my dreams, we dreamt of this reality together, we can make this happen. But no, 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 this is a person who's probably narcissistic, or a situation where a narcissistic person, narcissistic person is sitting at the, like at a decision making position in this situation. 10 of Wands, and it's getting too much for you to deal with. So say no. Say no. If you have already a 5 of Wands, again back of the deck energy, if you have already developed anxiety, insomnia, paranoia, even you are confused and you've been gaslighting, if you're facing, I don't know if it's called gaslight or gaslight, or pardon my grammar. If you have been facing gaslighting, then the best thing for you to do is to walk out of that situation, get down from that train as soon as you recognize that it's not your like it's not a reality that you want to be part of. It's not a situation that you want to experience. Get out that moment then and there. That's the only thing you can do to serve your highest good in a situation like this. So that's your shift. Group 3, if you liked the reading, then let me know in the comments and if it resonated with you, let me know in the comments. For more readings like this, subscribe to the channel. Also do some reflection, right? Do some reflection on your anxieties and everything that you're going through, and the lessons that this situation might entail, so that you can stop having a repetition of this pattern in other characters or in other situations and circumstances, so that you can put a stop to this experience once and for all. So yeah, that's the reading. It's coming to an end now. If you want a personal reading or spiritual guidance from me, then you can contact me on WhatsApp, email, or Instagram. I have other 2 channels in Bengali and Hindi. I have 2 other channels, actually 3, but then it is only relevant if you understand these languages. In case you do, then you can find out about my channels, the other channels that I have, from the description box below. Otherwise, I'll see you in another reading sometime very, very soon. Till then, take care.